Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. Picked off. Look out. Good pass, Manley. And it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, football is back.
Back.
It is back. As of right now, football is on right now, like as we speak. And life is good. Actually, no, I lied.
Good.
I lied. The game is over. 27-11. Raiders beat the Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game. What a barn burner. Anyways, yeah, no, definitely exciting to say the least. I very, very much am excited to see some football this season from my Bears and from your Eagles for obvious reasons, which, by the way, I don't think we've announced to the audience yet. Do you want to do the honors?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think we have. We are going is it December 18th?
I think so.
December
yes, because it's a week before Christmas.
Yeah, so December 18th, me and Ryan, and then Mary, my girlfriend, my beloved girlfriend, she's been on the pod. You guys have seen her before. And then our friend Jonathan, who's a real close friend of ours. The four of us are going to Bears-Eagles game December 18th. And like we said, Bears weather, baby. You're going to be freezing our butts off. I don't know what I'm wearing yet.
Experience it while you can.
Exactly. And you know what? We'll post a poll alongside with this one. But if you guys have any preferences, I need help, Ryan. I don't think before we actually get into big football stuff, I have a question to ask you.
Let's hear it.
So I'm fighting between two things here. As I feel like most people who listen to this are aware, football jerseys are not cheap. They're like $120. Mm-hmm. And I want a football jersey for the game, for the game we're going to on December 18th.
Yes.
Because that'd be really nice. But at the same time, I really want to get a Kelly Green jersey. But those don't come out until next year. So
can you buy them though?
Yeah, next year. Yep.
Oh, next year you can buy.
That's actually the whole reason why they don't have the Kelly Green this year is because they want to make like a whole bunch of Kelly Greens that they can sell. So they don't have time to make the Kelly Greens and sell them. So that's why they're not doing Kelly Green this year.
More importantly, whose jersey would you buy?
Jason Kelce.
Oh, okay. Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's Hall of Famer, so you can't go wrong. It's not like he's going to be traded. And he's a center, and he's a legend. And as most big guys know, it's hard to fit into like a single digit number, like a number 6. Devontae Smith is probably my favorite Eagle not named Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
But a single digit number just don't look good on big guys. Like as a big guy, I can say that. Yeah. It's not flattering. So that's why you go with the Jason Kelce. But like I said, do I wait the year and just wear like an Eagles shirt and hoodie? Obviously more, not just a shirt and hoodie. Lord knows it'd be stupid.
Yeah.
But just get that and then get the Kelly Green next year or get a jersey this year. And because I'm not getting both. I don't, because like I said, they're expensive. I don't have money that I can just throw away to get a jersey every year.
Right. Personally, I mean, obviously go for the Jason Kelce one, but the thing is like, you got to get it for the game, bro. And here's the thing. If you do that, I'll even pledge this. So for those of you that don't know, so Ben played center in high school. I played corner. And so I think that it would be only fair that since you're getting a center's jersey, that I should get a corner's jersey.
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson signed through, like, his last contract year is 2023, and I do not see them, like, not extending this guy as of right now. And the only current Bear jersey that I own, because they got rid of everybody pretty much, is Justin Fields. That's my only current Bear. You don't see a lot of Jalen Johnson jerseys, so I think if you were to get a Jason Kelsey jersey, I'll get a Jalen Johnson one, and it'll fit because you played corner, or I played corner and you played safety.
No, you were right the first time. I played corner. You played center.
Oh yeah, no, I was a dominant center.
Dominant center.
Pretty much the blind side. Took him home.
But yeah, now we got the important stuff out of the way. We can continue the show. We had to get the important stuff out of the way first.
Yeah. So we'll try and get a poll out and everything, but in the meantime, we got some weekly news for you. Deshaun Watson has been suspended 6 games. This is the biggest headline this week. But the NFL is appealing and seeking an indefinite suspension, as they should. But the NFLPA has since threatened to sue the NFL. I don't know if they're actually going to sue them or not, because the NFL is like officially pursuing the appeal. So let's just get this out of the way. The punishment that he received is ridiculous. We're not going to dive in too deep as far as our personal opinions, but as far as what's already been put out there and everything, I'm pretty positive that the consensus believes that the NFL should really fix the way that they punish people, because the way it's just very, I want to say unjust. I think that's the right word to use. Looking at Calvin Ridley and how he got suspended a year, that's a big hit. But the thing is, something that we have to be wary of as well is that this wasn't the NFL's decision, and this is why they're wanting to appeal it and get more of a suspension.
And for those who don't know how that process worked, both sides, Deshaun Watson and his team, the NFL, they hired an outside judge. So the person who does this actually has like experience, like in the federal courtroom. But they hire an outside judge. The two go, and then the judge makes their ruling. Bam, and then either side can appeal it. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's camp is ecstatic that it's only 6 games.
Yes.
As we saw, the NFL appeals it. For those who don't know what happens after the appeal, it just goes to Roger Goodell. So they're appealing it. So Roger Goodell's like, I don't like this, so I'm going to make it. And then so now that it's up to Roger Goodell, he's probably, like we said, we're looking for an indefinite suspension. But if the NFLPA or tries to sue the NFL, that's when it gets a little hairy. And that's probably if the PA decides to, the Players Association decides to sue, Roger Goodell is probably not going to do an indefinite suspension, but it's going to be more than 6 games.
What I'm afraid of, and it's a very, very slim possibility, if a possibility at all, is something like a situation that the MLB saw this past year in a lockout, just because of the CBA negotiations and everything that kind of stopped baseball from, the season to progress. And with football being, in my opinion, I think that it's blatantly obvious that football is America's favorite pastime. It's not baseball anymore. This sport has taken over, and it is a huge part of everyday American culture.
Absolutely.
And so one thing that I really don't want to see is something as stupid as this case that should have been handled appropriately to begin with, spilling out and getting as dirty as it is. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Do you want to spend too? I think we're good.
You know where I stand on this, and for the sake of our viewers, you guys probably don't want to hear my views on this because I'm gonna get really heated and angry. I'm with everyone. I'll say I think 6 games is terrible. I think it should be so much more. Like I think it should be a lot. But
as
for the sake
like
of
he's not going to play football again.
Yeah, as in like never playing football again is where I'm at. But again, I get very angry and heated with the 6-game suspension.
Here's
So
here's the
I think
last
it's
thing
good
that I'll
that I
say.
don't.
I think that it's good that we don't, but the thing is we provide weekly news to you guys as
Mhm.
a form of content. And so we're not going to stop giving you the top headlines that happened within the past week, because that would be breaking what we promised as, content creators for you guys. So on a podcast that I believe is on the up and coming, and it's
Oh,
not
just wait.
just because, numbers and stuff. It's because we've got a lot planned for this podcast, and my expectations are higher than what people think. When you
Once
when you
once
it's
they see
not
what we have coming.
it's not little Timmy started a YouTube channel. This is going to be professional in the very near future. Anyways, before dwelling on any of that, let's move on. Cardinals wide receiver Marquise Brown has been arrested for speeding in a crazy speed. I didn't get the exact speed. I was very, very tired when
126.
That's ridiculous. Thank you for providing that number. I did not provide that in my notes because I was very tired when I was writing all these headlines down. So but yeah, I got a little carried away. I've been hooked on Mario Kart, and that's what I've been doing all night. Anyways, no. So luckily he didn't get injured. Luckily this isn't anything he didn't, this isn't a Henry Ruggs situation. Luckily it's not as bad as it could have been, but odd to say the least.
Yeah.
Moving on, Broncos wide receiver Tim Patrick is out for the season with a torn ACL. Ouch.
That
I know how that
one
feels.
sucked.
Yeah. This is why we don't draft until late August for fantasy. But I really do hope and pray that he heals very quick. I hope his rehab process is very easygoing and that he progresses a lot faster than the typical patient. With me having experience with the torn ACL, it's a very, very grueling, very long, not only physical process, but mental process as well. You're taking yourself out of what you've been accustomed to for your whole life for 9 months. So once you do that, and I mean, the season was just getting started too. So I hope that he heals up quick. Sending prayers to Tim Patrick and his family. And I hope that he comes back stronger than ever, just to come back and hopefully win a championship with his Broncos team. I think that sums it up with that. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that one. I feel like I've been talking a lot, so if you need to pipe in, let me know.
No, you're good. I mean, you guys know where I stand on him. I mean, I literally put him in my fantasy sleepers. It's a shame to see anyone go down with injury, especially this early into training camp as well. I mean, stuff is finally getting a roll, and for someone to get injured, 3-4 days in training camp, it's really hard to see. I can't imagine how hard it is for the players. But I feel like there's been a lot of injuries this early into training camp, more so than usual. But just best wishes to everyone and their families, and best wishes to all the players. Best, hope everyone can stay healthy. And you hate to see something like this, especially not in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, some things that you hate to see. The Dolphins have forfeited a first and third round pick, and their owner has been suspended until mid-October. This was one heck of a
What
story.
does that even mean?
So the thing is, they violated the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Which with current headlines is just like, oh, okay. Like, very odd to say the least. But I'm trying to find the message just because this was such a, bizarre headline. I mean, it involved Tom Brady. It involved, new coaches and tanking and everything. Essentially, they paid Flores to lose. They tampered with Brady.
No, the Flores to lose thing was like they dug into it, and like in the official statement the NFL put out, like they said that like that did not happen. And Roger Goodell came out saying that like he respects Flores's like integrity to not lose, and so like that was ruled like that part didn't happen.
Okay. But I mean, on top of that, I mean, they tampered with Brady, which makes it even more interesting because at that time Brady was a division rival. And then they also tampered with him when going through the process of trying to bring him in as an executive when he was in Tampa. I truly believe that that's why Tom Brady retired, is because he thought that that was going to happen, but then backed out when stuff started to hit the fan.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I think it said in the report that they also tried to tamper with Sean Payton as well to try and get
Yeah,
him to
and
go
get
to
Sean
Miami.
Payton as the new head coach. You're right.
So I have to note as well, the Dolphins are just definitely getting a slap on the wrist with this. First off, I mean, the owner getting suspended until mid-October is like, okay, whatever. The third
Like I
round
said, what
pick
does that
is,
even mean? Like,
yeah, it's
I
like,
don't know.
dude, what do you, anyway.
Yeah.
With the third round pick, I mean, that's really what they're sacrificing, but that first round pick that they sacrificed, they still have the 49ers pick. So they still have a first round pick. It's just they are forfeiting theirs. How good that first round pick is going to be is up in the air, but at the moment, I mean, it's just whatever. Like, okay, cool. Like, that sucks. We don't get 2 first round picks, but we still have 1, so whatever.
Yeah.
But overall, this is, I mean, I can't help but smile because it's like, you idiots. Like, you messed up not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Like, you did it in such a way that wasn't secretive at all. Like, you blew it. You blew it. Ultimately, you blew it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the next headline.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, man, you got
yeah,
it.
just real quick, I want to jump in. I know some people just had questions about this. People were wondering why Sean Payton didn't get in trouble for the tampering. People were wondering why Tom Brady wasn't getting in trouble for tampering. And for those who don't know, I know for sure it's the same across the NBA and the NFL. And I'm pretty sure it's the same across all sports, but I know for sure it's the same about those two. Players can't like be fined with tampering, and like there's really really rare cases where they do. Teams obviously get fined with tampering. We see it a lot. We saw it with the Chicago Bulls. We're seeing it now with the Dolphins. So we see it a lot, but most of the time in tampering cases, it's really hard unless a player outright says something. It's real hard to get a player with tampering. And that same goes for Sean Payton. So those who are wondering about like the Tom Brady stuff,
Yeah.
that it's hard for unless Tom Brady outright said like, I purposely quit while under contract with the Buccaneers to go and do it.
Yeah.
It's hard. You can't really find players for
And
tampering.
why would you do that if you're Tom Brady? I mean,
And that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't see
yeah.
that stuff. So
I will say I do believe Tom Brady is going to be involved with football for the rest of his career in one way, shape, or form, or not career, but just life.
mhm.
But anyways, moving on to another headline, one that makes me very frustrated. Bears tackle Tevin Jenkins is being shopped around the league after a disconnect with coaches and a lack of maturity. I added that last part. But
Mhm.
yeah, the disconnect with coaches. He's not showing up to practice. It's an undisclosed injury. They're trying to kind of buy him some time. But the thing is like, dude, you come in as a second round pick. You're already riddled with a back injury, which is why you fell to a second round pick. It was a first round talent. You were supposed to be very good. You
Mhm.
come in, you crap the bed in an awful offense, whatever. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You have this new regime come in. They're doing just about everything right with the offense that the previous regime should have done. And with the exception of bringing in talent, don't make that face at me because I know that you've made.
Yeah.
Give me a break. The talent that they were able to keep, the young talent that they were able to keep, the one guy that was the bright spot of the whole offensive line, like the one part that everybody was like, oh man, like this guy's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Like, we're going to have our left tackle. Oh, he wants to play right tackle. Cool. Move him to right tackle. Let's get him done. Blah, blah, blah. That's not happening anymore. And why? It's not because of an injury. It's not because of a contract dispute. It's because the player doesn't want to show up because of something with the coaches. What about that? If you are not going to be devoted to the game enough to at least just show up for your team, I don't want that guy on my football team. And that's probably a reason why he hasn't been traded yet.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to say
very
to that
frustrating.
point. Yeah, like if he wants to get traded, which he's a second-year player who didn't do much in his first year. So it's hard for a second-year player who hasn't done anything to even say, trade me. But
Yeah.
but if that's what he wanted to do for that to happen, he would have to show out and be like, I care about the game. I want to improve and continuously get better. But when he
Exactly.
sits out and he's like, no, I'm not doing this like a spoiled child. Other
Exactly.
teams don't want that on their team in the first place. Like you said, who wants that on their team? So if he wants to get traded, his best course of action should be to play. And we can see the stars of the league sit out and do that because they're proven. But as
Yeah.
as an unproven young guy, you can't just sit out and whine and complain and then also expect to be traded. You can't have both.
Yeah. That's a great point.
I don't know.
What I was really thinking too is just, like you said, if you want to get better, if you have that drive, if you want to be committed, if you want to be a pro football player, you show up to training camp in your second year, despite the fact that you didn't play, you couldn't practice for majority of it. Ridiculous. I have breaking news. There are rumors buzzing all over the place that the Colts are interested in bringing in free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., and he is currently in contract talks with the Colts.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I expected them to go after Julio when they signed because of Matt Ryan, and them needing another person. But I like the Odell. Odell, like we've talked about it on the show. I think Odell is a super talented player if you can set aside, obviously, all the off the field baggage that he brings. And then you have to take into account he's probably going to miss the first half of the season, and that's why he isn't signed already. Is because he's missing probably the first 6 or 7 games of the season with his ACL tear. But he's an awesome player. I love it if they can get that to happen.
This is, I guess it's not breaking news because it's been rumors over the last 2 days, but it definitely hasn't been anything as far as,
Widespread.
Yeah. He even tweeted out on March 22nd of this year, random thought, ... Bruh, I really think Matt Ryan to the Colts was actually fire. I think bruh will elevate and do something special over there.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get to more Colts stuff later, I promise, but just a report. Next up, let's see. Saints running back Alvin Kamara's hearing has been postponed 2 months. Not much to say there. 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has been extended. He signed a 3-year extension worth $73.5 million. Do you have anything to add there? I think it's just well deserved.
Well, yeah, no, it's well deserved. I will say, if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I probably would have been shocked. But the further along it got, especially after draft night, and seeing he can get traded on day one, I kind of was in the mindset that he was going to stay. The thing that I do find interesting about the whole thing is he said he wanted to kind of just be a wide receiver and he wanted to be taken out and he didn't want to do all that running game stuff. But he agreed to add incentives to his contract that involves the run in rushing game. He can earn like an extra like $2 million if he gets I think it's 350 yards in a season, like 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny because again, he said that he didn't really want to do any of the rushing game stuff, but then they're like, "We'll give you $2 million," and he's like,
I kind of want to do the rushing stuff now.
Yeah. So,
money talks, man. We've said it multiple times on
yeah,
this podcast.
and a hot take. I said it before and I'll say it again. It was best for his career for him to stay there,
Yes.
in that Shanahan offense, because the reason he was so good this past year and he broke out was because he has the versatility, that scheming of wide receiver and running back, and
Yeah.
not many people can use him properly. And if he would have went somewhere else, I don't think he would have been anywhere near as good as he was this past year. So it was good for his career that he stayed with Shanahan.
Yeah, true. Next up, DK Metcalf has also been extended to a contract worth $72 million over 3 years. Good. I like it.
Yep.
And then next up, Steelers are unfortunately bringing back wide receiver Deontay Johnson with a 2-year extension worth $18.4 million per season, which just burns up my hot take. Can we still trade for him? That'd be cool. It's not happening. There goes the wide receiver group for this next free agency class, pretty much though.
That's yes, but thinking back on the 2019 draft class, that was crazy. You had Hunter Renfrow, Dante Johnson, Debo Samuel,
Yeah.
AJ Brown, and DK Metcalf, all outside of the first round. Those 5 guys all got drafted out of the first round. But anyways,
speaking of people that aren't, I guess, first round guys, I'm hearing a lot of great things about Alec Pierce. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Sky Moore. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Velus Jones. I'm hearing, I mean, it's like one of these guys don't fit into that group, but it's like, well, you know, age is a number. Yes, it's very important, but at the same time, I expect a lot out of him for like a wide receiver 3 for the Bears this year. Just you can highlight that, bookmark it. It's not a very bold thing.
no,
You're going to
he
see
should, I would
progress from a
hope.
rookie, but whether it's a lot or whether it's a little, but I'm saying he will be a very big part of this team. And it'll start with the special teams. I think he's going to be from what I've seen from like in-person training camp, as well as what I've heard from training camp, it looks like he's going to be that guy for special teams, just to kind of catch those punts and stuff.
Ugh, should be Khalil Herbert.
Lastly,
It should. He was honestly, it was probably part of the reason that he got drafted in the first place. He was a solid running back, but his return game, Khalil Herbert, that's probably the reason he got drafted, was he was a great returner of Virginia Tech. But anyways.
Last week we talked about Kyler Murray's contract and how they had the study clause on it. Just wanted to touch on it just to kind of update you guys on that, just in case you guys didn't hear it. They have removed that study clause. We bullied them out of it. So yeah, that's it. But that's weekly news. We're introducing a new segment.
Only 30 minutes into it.
Yeah, no worries. So we are starting a new segment, at least just for this off season, that I wish that we would have done prior. But the thing is we're approaching the season, and looks like this is the good time to do it. Stock up, stock down. So pretty much, what teams are you buying into this year? Are you hopping on or creating the hype train? And then on the other side, whose hype is going down, or who are you not as excited about or faithful in? We're going to start with stock up. Ben, are you wanting to go first, or I can go first?
Yeah. So I'm thinking of a couple. In a whole, I'm thinking of I have 2 stock up teams that I'd like to talk about, and then
I will say I have 4 for each.
Oh, nice. Well, I have 1 major stock down team that I had to take about before a news event came out, but it bolstered it even more, but we'll get to it. But I also have players as well that I would like to add in there if we have time for it. So but as far as teams, ironically, both from the same division. I talked about one of these teams with you yesterday. There's not really a hype train behind this team, but the Steelers, compared to what we thought going into training camp versus now, I'm buying stock in them. I don't think there's a lot of hype. I don't, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs based off the division that they're in.
Yeah.
But I'm buying stock in them.
Okay.
With they kept Dante Johnson, your boy. Najee Harris is in his second year. I'm hearing good things about Mitch Trubisky / Kenny Pickett coming out of camp. And if we're talking about good news coming out of camp, it's really hard to avoid George Pickens. I mean, he is killing it in camp from all reports. Right? I loved him, so it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
boosting
You're like, I was
ego.
right.
Right. Only boosting my ego. But as far as that, my first team is the Steelers. If you want to hop to your team, or I can give my other team, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a tangent here just a little bit. The Colts are my first team. And I've said it a little bit, I've touched on it just a little bit. But the thing is Matt Ryan, I've heard a lot of good things, and the patterns in his career, stat-wise, performance-wise, not accolades-wise. So we're not talking Super Bowls, but he can be related to John Elway in a certain way as far as stats and performance. Matt Ryan's going to be playing with the best offensive line he's ever been behind. This is a great team for him to be on. If Odell Beckham Jr. joins that team, that's even better for him. That's a big if, but Michael Pittman Jr. looks to be that guy to be getting a lot of targets. Alec Pierce is on the come up. Like I just mentioned before, I feel like he's going to be very good this season. Definitely look for like maybe a waiver wire pickup or maybe a late round draft pick for Alec Pierce in your fantasy leagues. And then overall, I mean, the defense is still the defense. They didn't really go down as much, but they didn't go up. So like they can still allow a lot of points. But the thing is, I'm very, very faithful in this offense. So, and don't forget about Jonathan Taylor too. So, you can say what you want. I'm not a Colts fan. I've been on the field once, and I've been at Lucas Oil twice. It's a beautiful stadium. I love it, and I almost want to root for this team because of my experiences there, my previous ones. I'll be there again in November, I believe. But with that being said, I do think that this team is going to be very successful, and I do believe that they will win their division. So that's my first team. You can go ahead.
All right.
The second one.
And for those, again, as we to give you guys the I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. But to give you guys the best football content that we can offer to you guys.
There it is.
Sorry. But to give you guys the best football content we can offer. Obviously we have a scheduled plan that we have for the podcast, but stuff like this, we like to kind of keep each other in the dark. So we might have some repeat teams on here. I don't know who he put.
I mentioned the Steelers, so I'm not going to hint on them afterwards.
There
so
you go.
We'll just close out of that one too.
But my other team, same division, shouldn't be hard to guess. It's the Ravens, Stock Up Ravens. I just think they were a really solid team this past year. And they were just really, really struggling with they're really struggling with injuries this past year. And I don't think what we saw last year is anywhere near as well as they can be. So I'm buying into that a little bit. I'm buying into the fact that they have the best secondary in the league, even though that clip kind of went viral of Kyle Hamilton just getting burnt. It was crazy. But I'm really buying in that they have the best secondary. I know we disagree on this, but a ability to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, with hopefully development from Rashad Bateman. So stock up Ravens for me.
Okay. My next team is the New York Jets. Any Jets fan is like, what? Wait, hold on a minute. Like nobody ever talks about us. Yeah, I will say this. Very, very jealous of your wide receiver room. Looking at this right now, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and Garrett Wilson round out the top 3. Oh my God. If they could figure out their quarterback situation, this team is going to be very, very deadly on the passing game, especially because they have Breece Hall and Michael Carter as their running backs. Wow. Well, that is one heck of a 1-2 punch. And don't forget about CJ Uzama and Tyler Conklin. They
Mhm.
also drafted Jeremy Ruckert. It's like they've got a good offense. Zach Wilson, I mean, if he can sit and learn and everything, so be it. I'm hearing Joe Flacco is actually beating him out for the quarterback job at the moment. Their offensive line took strides. I mean, they've fixed that to a certain extent. But and then you look at the defense. I mean, drafting Sauce was a big move. They made a couple big signings and free agency. They still have Quinnen Williams. They have Greg Zuerlein as well as their place kicker. I mean, Greg the leg. You can always count on him to get you down there if it comes down to it. This is going to be a very good team in the next couple of years. I'm very, very faithful. Looking at Garrett Wilson, I think that he's going to take major strides this year. And I think if you're a Jets fan, you should be ecstatic about the next few years. Talking maybe the next 3 or 4 for your guys' future. So stock up. Just a little bit of stock, though. Just buying it for right now. Hopping on the hype train. But I don't believe they're going to be making the playoffs, and I do think that they're going to lose some games that they probably should win.
Yeah.
Cough, cough. The Bears game, they should beat the Bears, but the Bears are going to win that game. So, anyways, what's your third team?
So again, I only had 2 teams. I have 2 players. The 2 players I'd like to add, Jerry Jeudy, for 2 reasons. He finally has someone that can throw him an accurate ball. But sadly, he's just going to get more targets because Tim Patrick went down, which is tough to hear. But I think Jerry Jeudy's stock is on the rise. I'm
Yes.
buying that for sure.
Okay, and then who's your second player? Because I'll just finish up with the Lions.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
and as far as stock up, this probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone. With the news, at least, this isn't really bold, but Trey Lance. I mean, from
Okay.
all reports coming out of camp, dude
I
is
heard he's
absolutely
killing it.
killing it. And I have been pretty vocal that I like Trey Lance on this podcast.
Yeah.
So it's
He's
just
taken a lot of
fueling the fire.
strides in the
Yeah,
offseason, working with quarterbacks, working on himself and everything, fixing all of the things that he needed to fix, and then coming into training camp and just slinging it. It's going to be one heck of a week 1 matchup, in my opinion, for 49ers and Bears.
It'll be fun.
I'm going to switch up just to be
Mhm.
professional and unbiased. I'm starting to believe the 49ers are going to win that game.
Thank you.
However, I still have faith. Give me that at least, but I do still stand by. I think last podcast I said that that game's going to be very low scoring. I think it's going to be a lot low scoring than what people think. But yeah. Anyways, so last one, Lions. As I said before, that's my last stock up team, and I mean you pretty much nailed it with the Steelers because I was going to say that too. But yeah, the Lions are killing it. Looking at their roster as well. Let's pull it up really quick.
Some football breaking news, by the way, or podcast breaking news. Breaking news. This just in. Twitter live stream is down. So for the people, if you were listening on Twitter, and you're listening back to it, yeah, we're sorry about that. We really don't know what happened there. But thank you for listening back to this if you decide to do that. But anyways.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, we'll work on it.
Yes.
Anyways, yes. So back to the Lions depth chart. DeAndre Swift is going to take, huge strides. Jamal Williams, I love the character, man. I'm a Jamal Williams guy.
Oh yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He, obviously a star. DJ Chark, I think, was a good addition, and then Jameson Williams, which do I have to bring his card up because I've been collecting them? His rookie card is in my hand, and I have that. So anyways,
Josh.
one second.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jameson Williams, TJ Hawkinson, Good offense all around. And then look at their defense as well. They also made some additions. Their secondary looks somewhat decent, and Aiden Hutchison was a good move. So I'm expecting a little worse than the Jets, but other than that, still taking strides in the right direction. So buying stock in them. We have a comment coming in. I got a question for you guys. It's a fantasy question. Go ahead and shoot it in, and we'll answer that because I believe that's our next segment. Oh no, we got stock down still. Yeah.
We have stock down as well. So if you want to throw that in the chat, we have a fantasy.
Ooh. Trades. Dude, I love this. I hope to God more people send stuff like this. Okay, so it's a 10-man league, half PPR. God, I love this. This is great. So CMC for Justin Herbert, AJ Brown, and Breece Hall. I'm taking that.
Yes. Oh God.
I would send CMC off immediately. That's no brainer.
I would send CMC off for Justin Herbert and Breece Hall. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
2 wide receiver, 2 running back. Yeah, no, absolutely. Who's your? I need to know. My first question is who's your quarterback? Because Justin Herbert being thrown in there has to mean that you're getting an upgraded quarterback. So
I would throw the quarterback in there honestly at that point, like CMC and whoever my other quarterback was, unless it was like
I wouldn't
Lamar
do that.
Jackson or
the league is vetoing, saying that the person getting CMC is getting fleeced. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But like, I don't know. Tell your commissioner he's a jerk for vetoing trades because that's just lame. Your quarterback's Tua. Yeah, that's a huge. That's a huge upgrade. No, you're okay.
Yeah, no, that's bad. The person getting AJ Brown, Justin Herbert, and Breece Hall are making out like a freaking bandit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I love CMC. If CMC can stay healthy for a full season,
giving CMC is getting fleeced. He made
the person giving. Okay, yeah. The person giving CMC is absolutely getting fleeced.
No, he's not.
Yes, the person that's like giving him away,
giving CMC away for Justin Herbert, AJ Brown, and Breece Hall.
Oh, the person.
The
person who's receiving. Yeah, you're right. The person receiving CMC is getting fleeced.
So the comment says the person that's trading away CMC is getting fleeced. Your commissioner's stupid, and
your commissioner sucks. I'm sorry. That's facts. That's. But as far as CMC, that's bad. I mean, I don't touch CMC. He hasn't been healthy. I mean, he could very well come back and be a top fantasy producer like he was, but he isn't healthy enough for me and my liking, and that offensive line I am not a fan of at all.
Okay. Yeah. So next up, so wait. Okay. So what was that team again? I'm sorry.
For stock down.
Yeah.
Oh, so as far as stock down, I have a team and 2 players.
Yeah.
Hold on. They're getting. Yeah.
We're reading comments, so if you're listening back to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, this is what we're doing. But
yep. But back to that program we were talking about. But if you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
I just want to say this before you move on. Literally anybody listening to this, if you get a chance to send us in any kind of trades, I believe in our podcast Twitter is an email. What you can do if we're off air, send us an email for a potential trade, or and then we'll definitely review that. I'll put the email in our Twitter, and then we'll more than definitely add that to the show.
Yes.
This is great. I loved this. Honestly, but so any fantasy questions, anything that you guys would like us to do, send it to us. It's just thepigskinproject@gmail.com.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, yes, you're stocked out.
Regular scheduled program.
Yes.
I had this thought because we pitched this idea. He pitched this to me like 5 days ago, so I had time to think about this for a little bit. The first team that automatically popped in my head was the Cardinals. And then I was already thinking the Cardinals, and then everything happened with Marquise Brown. which kind of just bolstered that.
Confirmed it. Yeah.
It just in history, Cliff Kingsbury has not been able to close out seasons, whether that was in NFL or college. He hasn't been able to close out seasons at all. And so if he has trouble closing out seasons, I'm worried about how they're going to start because Marquise Brown might miss a few games. We already know that D Hop is missing the first six games.
Okay.
I think it's either 6 or 8.
I think it's half the season because I think it's more than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, so eight games. So
Yeah.
he's missing 8 games, which are tough. It's hard to recover from that. And we saw how that offense performed without DeAndre Hopkins at the end of the season. So for them to miss that and not be able to close the season strong, it really concerns me. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if the team loses 5 games.
Yeah,
I think, or only wins 5 games. I don't think that's going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if they only win 5 games this season. But this isn't really bold. I think Cliff has gone after this season, anyways. I'm just
okay.
I don't like this team at all.
Yeah.
So.
My stock down team is the Patriots. This team is in a tougher spot. This is just blatantly obvious. This team's in a tougher spot after Miami made the appropriate additions and New England just didn't improve this offseason. If you're a New England fan, you're banking off of Mac Jones turning water to wine and Bill Belichick being the greatest coach to ever live. Bill Belichick being Jesus with a headset. This is pretty much all that you've got. The defense has, taken steps back. They blew their first round draft pick. I don't care that he didn't play a snap yet.
He's playing well though.
I'm not a fan of it. There's so much more talent on the board. You do not take that guy in the first round. That being said though, that's all I got to say on the Patriots, but I have Josh coming in saying, "Hey, don't disrespect the Patriots. Mac is skinny now." Okay.
As far as stock up, 2 teams I just want to throw in there. Obviously, I think the 2 obvious teams are the Chargers and Bills.
Stock down.
Fielding stock
up. Yeah.
Chargers and Bills.
Yeah, we don't talk about culture.
We don't. I didn't feel the need to talk about the Chargers and Bills. I feel like me and you have made our opinions on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Quite
I tried to make it
of what they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Cole Strange, I am not a fan of the pick, but I'm a fan of the process. People don't talk about that enough. If you see a guy on your board and you identify a guy on your board, and they said this is our guy, that they went out. It's the same thing with the Bears with Velus Jones, though.
Can I compare this to something?
Guy.
Let me compare this to something. Another guy named Cole. So, let's just say we do our fantasy draft on the 21st. Everything's going good, everything's great, first round's progressing, and then pick 9 rolls around, I'm on the clock. And who do I pick? Cole Kmet, baby. Cole Kmet. Why? Because I think Cole Kmet's going to take off this year. I think he's going to be a great receiving tight end this year. I think he's going to be great. And everybody's looking at me like I'm stupid because I just threw out my first round pick. Yeah. That's the equivalent to fantasy football if people don't understand. It's one of those things where it's like, I like the risk. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think he would have been available later on.
Yes.
He would have been available later on. It would have been an okay pick later on. But don't pick him in the first round when there's several other guys that could do so much better for your team.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I was going to go ahead and finish up. Players.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, this podcast, we spent a lot of time on the news.
I'm all for it. This is great.
So am I. As far as stock down players, I told you guys this last night. It's not because I wanted to, but Matt brought it up, so I thought it was important to bring up. I'm a stock down on Antonio Gibson this year. He fumbled 6 times. He has a fumbling problem. Meanwhile, they went out and drafted Brian Robinson, I think, in the 3rd round. It was either
Okay.
3rd or 4th round. Pretty sure it was the 3rd round. So he already has a guy on his tail. And for a 6'2" guy, you better be able to finish after contact, and he can't.
Yeah.
He finished not that he can't, he's just not good at it for being 6'2". He finished 40th in the league in yards after contact.
Yeah.
And at 6'2", 230 or 240, you should be doing that at a way higher rate. And we've seen Brian Robinson not fumble, and he's a beast after getting contacted. And then the other strength Antonio Gibson has is catching the ball. But the Commanders re-signed J.D. McKissick, who pretty much only catches the ball. He's a running back, but he's a pass catching running back. So I think he's RB1, but I think as soon as he fumbles the ball, he's going to get replaced. In short yardage plays, I think the ball is going to Brian Robinson, and I think in 3rd and long plays, it's going to J.D. McKissick. So it's just tough for me to see kind of a spot for him. And then as far as the other player, no particular reason I'm putting this guy on this list. I just think his hype was very high after last year. Cordell Patterson, a thing or two about the guy.
Yeah.
I think he had crazy hype after last season, and I just don't think he's going to perform the same that he did last season.
His character, I love the guy altogether. He's a great dude, but I don't see him growing. I hope to God he proves us wrong, though, and then just like slaps us in our comment section someday. I've got 3 teams, and I'll try and speed up. But do you want me to go with the obvious, or you want me to go with the bold ones?
That's just it's up to you.
All right, cool. I'm
Let's
gonna
finish with bold.
throw ice on it first, and then I'm gonna start the fire.
Yes.
Titans.
Yeah.
After Derrick Henry, there's just no bright spot on this team anymore. And after the Colts made the appropriate additions, the Jaguars are looking actually somewhat decent, and the Titans have a very tough schedule ahead. We'll review that here in a bit. I am in no way jumping on any kind of hype train because it's starting to fall off the tracks. Now I'm starting to bring out the little matches. Let's get the fire started. Cowboys. Stock's going down for me. Despite a strong 2021 campaign, it certainly seems like that last play in the playoffs spelled out disaster for the Cowboys in their future. I expect a new regime in 2023 unless they make it all the way to the NFC Championship. Other than that, this team's gone. Zeke and Pollard, I mean, it's come to the point where it's like, dude, there's something that needs figured out between those two. It's almost like I'm exhausted from those two. And then you have CeeDee Lamb. They traded away Amari Cooper. So I feel like he's going to get pressured more. The defense is still good.
And
the offensive
Gregory.
line, yeah.
They lost
him too.
So.
But yeah, I'm just saying, and I think the offensive line isn't as good as it has been historically. I think that it's just kind of taken a step back. And so as a result, I'm not a fan of the Cowboys. But sorry, it's starting to get a little hot in here. The fire that I am burning right now is crazy. Stock down
I
on
know
the
who you're going to
Broncos.
say. Oh.
Stock down on the Broncos. This hype train is going crazy.
I'm going to be honest. I was expecting you to say Packers.
No, and it's an obvious pick, but whatever. I tried to go a little bold with this one. But despite a strong offseason, they're in a tough division, and I cannot be persuaded to believe that they'll make the playoffs as a result. All 4 teams from that division will not make the playoffs. It's between them and the Raiders for last in the division. Let's just be honest. The Raiders, in my opinion, too, add them as a stock down team just because there's no match for. I think it's a three horse race for second place in that division. Because the Chargers have this one won for sure. They have it won. This offense looks incredible. With Justin Herbert making the correct strides and everything like that, I am without a doubt a fan of, Justin Herbert, and then, Austin Eckler, you have Mike Williams, dude, there's so many bright spots on that team. And then on top of that, they added Khalil Mack to add on the other side of their defensive line. JC Jackson as a corner. Dude, this team got stronger significantly, and they were already just a coin toss away from making the playoffs last season. This team's going to be very good. In fact, I would almost put the Chiefs as a stock down team. There's no shock factor right now. Chiefs as a stock down team. Me and my dad were talking about this earlier. Patrick Mahomes, he's a generational talent. Don't get me wrong. He changed the game. After losing Tyreek Hill, it's just kind of like, okay, you lost your best safety as well with Tyrann Mathieu. Only crazy. This division's very good, but the thing is, there's better talent in the AFC, and it's in the AFC North.
Stock up, Juju. Stock up, Juju.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. But it's because of Patrick Mahomes, and it's not because of Juju's progress.
Yeah.
But anyways, as a result, complete fan of the Chargers, not a fan of the Broncos' odds of winning the Super Bowl. We used to say on this podcast that they were a quarterback away from a Super Bowl run, but at this point in time, I feel like they got it, but they got it at the wrong time. And so as a result, they're fighting for a spot, and it's not as clear as everybody wants to make it. But in other news, Broncos country, let's ride to the next segment. I need to go to bed. Titans schedule. We're going to be predicting them. Very, very easy for me. I'm going to zoom through this really quick. Okay. Because this is very easy for me. Giants are going to win week 1 at Bills, loss, versus Raiders, loss, at Colts, loss, at Commanders, loss, versus Colts, loss, at Texans, loss, at Chiefs, loss, at Broncos, loss,
Wow.
at Packers, loss, at Bengals, loss, at Eagles, loss, at Jaguars, finally a win, at Chargers, loss, versus Texans, win, versus Cowboys, loss, at Jaguars, win. The Titans are going 4-13.
4-13 puts them in a perfect place to draft Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great fit.
It's going to be a perfect fit for them, especially if Treylon Burks develops in the way that he needs to. But that's besides the point. Always putting out this draft content.
Yeah,
Anyways.
And I just want to say, do I think that they're a normal 4-13 team? No, but the thing is, they face the teams like the Bills, the Raiders, the Colts, the Commanders, the Chiefs, the Broncos, Packers, Bengals, Eagles, Chargers, Cowboys. That's 11 losses right there. Josh is coming in saying 8-9, but I think that's way overshooting. So Ben, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you for your schedule predictions for the Titans.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere between Josh and you. I think 4 wins is tough for me to get behind. I think they're opening up week 1 with a W against the Giants. That's just tough. But I do think they go on a 3-game losing streak here against the Titans, or against the Bills, the Raiders, and the Colts.
Yeah.
But I do think that
Colts versus Colts.
Well, no. So they lose the
beat
Colts,
the
but then I think they beat the Commanders. No, they have 2 wins, but I think they lose to the Colts again. But they get their 3rd win of the season already against the Texans. Good for them. 3 more wins. We're real close to your 4-win mark there, bud.
Yeah.
But I do think they go on a bit of a losing streak here against the Chiefs, Broncos, Packers, Bengals, and Eagles.
That's just rough.
Yeah, that's tough. But I think they get their 4th win in the season against the Jags. I think they lose to the Chargers, but then I think they get the win against the Texans, against the Texans, Cowboys, and Jaguars. So I think they finish the season with 7 wins.
7-10, not terrible.
Yep.
Next up, we're gonna go ahead and shoot over to Houston to cover the Texans schedule. I already did this one as well. So versus Colts, loss. At Broncos, loss. At Bears, loss. Versus Chargers, loss. At Jaguars, loss. At Raiders, loss. Versus Titans, win. Versus Eagles, loss. At Giants, win. Versus Commanders, loss. At Dolphins, loss. Versus Browns, loss. At Cowboys, loss. Versus Chiefs, loss. At Titans, loss. Versus Jaguars, win. And at Colts, win, because the Colts had already clinched the division at that time. So as a result, 4-13 for the Texans as well.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy with me. I have them winning 3 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they won 0. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to have them win 0, but
stay optimistic for Houston fans. Come on now.
Yeah,
General Mills going to take control.
Lost the Colts week 1. Lost the Broncos. You're going to kill me for this one. I do think they win the Bears. You win some, you lose some. I just think it's one of those games on the schedule. I do think the Bears are a better team. I think it's one of the games on the schedule that the Bears are going to overlook. I think the Bears are going to be like, it's the Texans. What are we doing? And I think it's one of the games in the schedule where you probably lose a game that you shouldn't. I think the Bears are better than the Texans.
Bears mentality, buddy. So, I promise you.
Anyways, they lose, so they get their first win to the Bears. They lose to the Chargers, lose to the Jaguars, lose to the Raiders, lose to the Titans, lose to the Eagles, beat the Giants. Yay, Giants!
Yeah.
Then but then I think they lose every single game besides their last. So lose to the Commanders, lose to the Dolphins, lose to the Browns, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Titans again, lose to the Jaguars, but beat the Colts there at the end for the same reason that you said.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you're not happy about that, but that's just, everyone has those games each season. And I think that's probably going to be the Bears game. But you'd much rather have that game happen in week 3 than week 15. So
right. All right. So next up, so I did another mock draft. It's part 2. Next week, I'm hoping that Ben will get the chance to be able to make a mock draft before. So let's just say that it's going to. But Ben's draft position in our league, because he sucked last year and he got last place.
Okay, whoa.
I'm just kidding. I just had to. I just had to.
For those who don't understand, I'm galaxy braining this. I'm first or worst. That's my thought when it comes to fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm either going to, if I think I'm winning, which put some respect on my name. I've 3-peated in this league. I have the most championships of everyone in this entire league.
Back in my day.
It was literally 2 years ago. When was the last time the Bears did anything? Anyways,
hey, whoa, we're talking fantasy league. Hold on a minute.
When was the last time the Bears did something? And look at the way you're talking, so I don't want to hear it. Anyways,
you have just as many Super Bowls. It's okay. It took you this long.
I'm talking about fantasy and
fantasy
all right versus
okay.
Bears. Okay. I'm talking about fantasy versus Bears here. The Bears have been trash, and you're hyping them up. Okay. At least I've actually been good.
Years ago, and you're still wearing that flag in the back.
At least I've actually been good in the last 5 years. Anyways,
it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Okay, so Ben sucks in fantasy football.
Okay, real quick. First or worst draft strategy. If I don't get first, I'm trading everyone away to get worse, so I can get JT. Anyways,
so I did our stereotypical, one quarterback. Let's see. Jesus.
You should have done it in our league, the way our fashion is.
I'm just gonna do a normal one for the people because if you've got the first overall pick like Ben and you suck at fantasy football from last year, don't worry because I got your back. Ben here is going to grade my fantasy mock draft. Keep in mind this was automatically kind of simulated. And then I punched in my pick at the first overall pick. So without further ado, round 1, pick 1, and I'm expecting a grade for, all of the picks as well as an overall grade. If you weren't here last time, Jonathan Taylor, very, very that's
what you should.
Self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
Round 2, pick 10, Deebo Samuel.
Oh, hold on. Is this a snake draft or?
Yes.
Oh, So pick 10 in round 2. So pick 20.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's gonna say pick 10 and then pick 1.
Gotcha.
Pick 10. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's what I mean.
For the 20th pick, we'll say an A minus. Yeah.
Okay.
A minus.
Round 3, pick 1 in the 3rd round. Yes.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb.
B. I wish you would have went another running back. I don't know what running backs were on the board. I'm gonna say
I'll
B
get there, I promise.
because yeah. But I build my team through running backs, as everyone in my league knows. So B.
You're not gonna like this next one then. Round 4, pick 10, Deontay Johnson.
Oh my God, what are we doing here? Dude, him that late in the draft I'm a fan of.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I wasn't a fan of the running backs on the board at this point. However, I could very well get the next 2 running backs for my next 2 picks. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, well, A plus pick, versus where your team is at. Again, I don't know what running backs are on the board.
Yeah.
Probably C based off of need.
Keep in mind,
So
you also get the very next pick right after this one too. So
as well, but based
here,
B
let me.
minus.
Yeah,
Let's hear this one.
round 5, pick 1, Brees Hall.
Okay, see, I like that. That adds it. That instead of a
See
B
what I
minus,
mean?
you get a B. Brees Hall there. I've been high on Brees Hall.
Mhm.
I'll give you an A minus for that.
All right. Round 6, pick 10, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, we'll give you a B plus.
Take it. Round 7, pick 1, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, A.
There's
I don't
no
want to
excuse
talk.
for him to fail. There's no
I
excuse
don't.
for him to fail.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of rushing points.
I guess I'll tell you guys this, because I have to, and we run a fantasy football, or we run a football podcast, so it's tough for me to keep my fantasy opinions quiet.
It
Jalen
sucks.
Hurts is if I can, this is the only thing I'll say, because I don't know how many people in our league actually even listen. This is besides the point. Ryan, don't you say anything. I think Matt and you are the only ones who hear what I'm going to say. Jalen Hurts is a quarterback I'm targeting. Jalen Hurts just has the throw. Jalen Hurts has the weapons around him, and as anyone knows, with Lamar Jackson and with Jalen Hurts last year, which I think he was the 4th highest scoring quarterback in fantasy football, and that was with bad weapons around him. You add AJ Brown to the mix, he can throw the football very well, and that's not to add on to the fact that he's one of the best running, probably the 2nd best running quarterback, third best running quarterback in all of football. So he's a quarterback that I'm targeting, and you got him what, the 8th round?
I got him in the 7th.
7th round. So 8. Yeah, I have to give you an A for that, and that's taking Eagles bias out of that as well. Yeah, that's an A.
Speaking of Eagles biased, pick 8, round 10, or no, round 8, pick 10, Devontae Smith.
I love Smitty. We'll give you an A minus for it though. Like I have to take bias out of it. I've realized you still don't have a tight end yet though, so
Yes.
we'll wait.
I'm getting there
to
too.
see. Yeah,
just because I'm surprised at how this fell. Round 9, pick 1, Drake London.
Drake London's going to be scary if people can get him in the later rounds. It's going to be really, really good just because he has majority of the target share there. With Calvin Ridley gone, pretty much the only person he's fighting for targets is Kyle Pitts. And the ball has to be spread around.
Yeah.
So he has all of the target share literally in the entire wide receiver room. I actually love that pick that late in the draft. I'm going to give you an A plus for that one.
Round 10, pick 10, TJ Hawkinson.
I'm a big fan that you got him that late. I'm worried about the offense he's in. We'll give you an A minus.
Round 11, pick 1, Kenneth Walker.
Drafting these young running backs is a give or take. I'm really scared about that offensive line. We'll give you a B plus.
Round 12, pick 10, as a security blanket, Cole Kmet.
If you're drafting Cole Kmet, you can get him in the freaking waiver wire. So I'm giving you a C for that.
Round 13, pick 1, James Cook.
Yeah, no, I'm actually I like that pick at this stage in the draft actually more than I like the Kenneth Walker. So we'll give you an A- for that.
Round 14, pick 10, Evan McPherson.
It's a kicker. I mean, there's not much to say about it. We'll give you a B.
Yeah.
It's a kicker. Like
Round 15, pick 1, Saints defense.
I wish you would have got a better defense. Matt probably
Wish I
doesn't
would
like to hear
have
that.
fallen to it. Yeah.
We'll give you probably a B- on that one.
All right. So an overall pick, let me just go ahead and review. Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall for your running backs, Debo Samuel and CeeDee Lamb for your wide receivers, Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, TJ Hawkinson as your starting tight end, and then I'm just going to go ahead and throw Deontay Johnson in there for your flex. And then you also have, let's see, J.K. Dobbins, Devontae Smith, Drake London, Kenneth Walker, Cole Kmet, James Cook on your bench, as well as Evan McPherson and Saints defense for the rest of your lineup.
I would, according to the fantasy expert that I am,
Yeah.
all jokes, I would probably rank that a B+ A- draft.
Nice. Okay. I'll take it.
So,
You know what else I'll take?
in your humble opinion?
What?
By the way, what would you rank your draft?
I would have liked better running backs with the exception of Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor, but that's the reason why I didn't go too heavy on it because I know Jonathan Taylor's going to be fine. But as a security blanket for him in case of injury or any reason why he would need to sit out, you would need another spot. So I'm going to give myself like a B+, but just like barely getting a B+ because it should be like a normal B.
Yeah, what you're not taking is this W and Weddle.
Yeah, no, I'm totally taking this dub and Weddle. I'm up 4-2 or 4-2. You know, great record. You know, just want to say I'm the top dog.
By the way, I don't think it's 4-2. I think it's 5-3. So you're still up by 2 points, but I think it's 5-3. I think you cut out 2 weeks.
My bad. Hey, either way, I'll still take it. 5-3.
Up by 2, yeah, 5-3.
Here we go. So I want second pick.
Sure.
Ben.
Yeah, we know how we opened up AJ Brown. Or Jalen Hurts. Yeah, AJ Brown.
All right, so it's in the NFC. He is a little bit taller than 6'1".
Running back or tight, or running back or quarterback based off the height.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it has to be.
I'm looking at Leonard Fournette.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
So it's between 7 and 11. I would guess around 10 or 9. It's got to be a quarterback. Yeah. 10, 8. There's 7, 8, or 9. Or 10.
What number is?
Or 8, 9, or 10.
T-Law's 11.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know. Yeah, well, we'll do T-Law. I know it's not T-Law, but yeah, we'll do T-Law.
Yeah, just to make sure that it is a quarterback. Yeah.
Dang.
It's not that.
I'm
gonna go with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
No. You were 16. What were we thinking?
North,
South, East. So it's AFC or NFC West.
NFC West. Matt. Let's look at the age. Matt Stafford.
Okay. Let's see.
And he's 9.
That's a good.
Matt Stafford's 9. It's Matt Stafford. I'd be surprised if it's not. It's Matthew probably. Yeah. What?
Okay. Oh, Kyler Murray. No,
What's
wait.
the height is off. The height is wrong.
The numbers.
It has
The numbers 10.
Drew Lock or Trey Lance, or it's either Drew Lock, Trey Lance, or Jimmy.
Oh, it's Jimmy G. Yeah, it's got to be. Because yeah, there it is. I forgot about it. I wouldn't have guessed that without you there.
You wouldn't have
but
guessed Jimmy.
I wouldn't. I forgot that he existed. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's a
So
very
for
long
those-
night.
Round one, we help each other out. Like I just told him it was Jimmy. That doesn't go to the record. Hard is the one that we compete against 5-3. Ryan, sadly.
And then we get a Google search on the last guess.
If we need it.
Yeah. So, AJ
AJ
Brown to start off. What?
I thought I just
Oh, it just hit midnight. So it just reset. Okay.
I thought I just imagine if I sniped it like that.
Dude, that would have been crazy. Okay, so
all right,
new
well, you guys
Weddle.
get in, yeah. New Weddle.
Fresh off the griddle.
Sure, it doesn't matter here. Yeah.
AJ Brown. Okay.
Based off the height,
it's in the
it's-
AFC. I'm gonna
It's
go
a
with,
running back.
it is. Let's go.
Based off the height, it has to be. I would
why?
guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't too shocked based off the height. I
Can't believe that just restarted in the middle of it. We didn't even think about that. It's fine. Whatever.
No. So he's like 26, 27 in the FC. Joe Mixon.
Okay. Solid.
I think he's like 6 foot.
Ooh, that got a
Ooh,
lot.
he's 6'1".
6 foot.
28 though.
How tall is Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry's 22.
No. 28.
Is he 20? I don't know why I thought 22.
How old
No.
is Derrick Henry? When do you think Derrick Henry got in the league, bro?
No, I was thinking number. I was talking about
Oh,
number.
number.
22.
Yeah, he is 22.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
that's-
saying age.
no, I was
okay,
talking
so-
number. Yeah, Derrick Henry's number 2.
So
AFC South,
AFC.
Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. So it's got to be.
I got the number right. Wait, what?
Yeah, 28.
South. Oh, we just guessed South. Oh, I'm an
gotta be
idiot. I don't know
east.
why. It has to be. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
East. So that would have to be like.
I'm thinking of. Do you want help here or
I'm gonna go with what's his name, Damian
Harris is who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so
You
that got
got
a
the
lot.
height spot
AFC East
on.
running back, 5'11". He is 27 years old and he wears number 28. I
Is
think I
it-
know who it is.
It's not Miles Gaston. He's too old. Kenyon Drink is a Raven. Right? No, Kenyon Drake's a Dolphin, right?
I don't think so.
Who did the Dolphin? Okay, I don't know. Just go for it.
Can
I
you
feel stupid. Or
Peter?
Yeah.
Where was my Singletary?
Singletary, I think is too short. Wow,
Sony Michel.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna say
just lost in
Singletary's
easy mode. It's
way
fine.
too short. Well,
It's
Sonny
fine.
Michel. Let's be honest. Who's guessing Sonny Michel?
Yeah,
That's-
whatever.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
hard mode.
Wait,
you wanted
whoa. Did Sonny Michel get traded? Did he get moved?
No. I don't know.
No,
They do.
because it wasn't the Patriots. When you did Damian Harris, it wasn't a Patriot. I'm just confused where Sonny Michel's playing football now.
He's playing for the Dolphins.
Oh, he's Dolphins now? That's why I said
Yeah.
he got moved. Yeah, Dolphins. He got traded. Okay. Sorry.
He
Proceed.
was he signed there in May.
NFC, that's
okay,
all
yeah.
we really know. NFC defense or special teams. So,
Justin Fields, baby.
well, we know it's defense or special teams.
Okay, I'm still going Justin Fields. Let's go.
Well, we have 2 divisions knocked right out of the way.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so let's
and
see.
we know pretty much
South or
nothing
West in the
else.
NFC. It's got to be defense or special teams, like you said. Definitely on the shorter side of things.
We'll do Marshawn Lattimore. That's too simple for it to be, but hopefully that rings up some special teams or defense. Defense
26. You nailed
26. So we know what we know he's number 26.
And
He's age
NFC
26,
West.
and we know he's in the NFC West.
Boy. Okay. I want to go with Leonard Floyd. Floyd.
I think he's
Floyd.
Leonard Floyd's too old.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But he is, yeah. So we got the NFC West part right though, and he's not a linebacker, not a corner.
Not a linebacker, not a corner. Ooh, Buda Baker.
Buda.
I think the age fits actually pretty well.
There you go. There's your win. All right. Screw you.
That's literally the first one I saw when I think NFC West, not cornerback, not linebacker, age 26. He was like, boom. And I love Buda Baker too, dude. The only reason he came to mind, I know he's a good safety. The only reason he came to mind was because I loved him scouting him like 5 years ago. Anyways, Gridiron Goofs. This is gonna be fun.
Fictional sports player draft
podcast.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll try and make this one a little bit quick, but we've got about 10 minutes to make it an average one. So, all right. Without further ado,
you got first pick.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, this is a clear one. For those who don't know what we're doing, it's fictional sports. Like we're just drafting fictional sports people. Gridiron Goofs is basically just turned into a draft segment, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to go Bobby Boucher here.
Wow.
No, wait, no, I'm not going Bobby Boucher. So if we're going strictly, I'm going to beat the crap out of your team.
No, are we doing beating the crap out of the team? I didn't think they were fighting. I thought it was just like
I'm saying like
more
actual
iconic.
Like, either way,
because it's way different. I thought my draft, I was not planned for that. I thought it was iconic.
Okay, well either way,
this top guy. Yes,
give me Paul Crew, longest yard, Adam Sandler. Yeah, it's okay. I need. What's your pick?
Rocky.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
All right. Yeah.
There's literally.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
I'm like, how did you like? Rocky's literally like a whole
Paul Crew, baby.
Built a city, built a statue around a fictional sports character. Like Rocky's probably that's. Anyways, I'm sorry. Who do you pick number 2 overall?
Dude, I
thought for sure Rocky was gone.
I can't believe that I just did that. I mean, it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but like it's not that good. Like
but it's not
like it's not you don't put that over Rocky.
Above Rocky.
Okay, so
I'm too tired for this.
Dude, seriously, yeah, this is I mean, I don't know. Dude. We're going to put 3 words on a t-shirt and it's just going to be Paul Crew, baby. And that's what's going to work.
I love that. Oh, dude, if we can get our freaking once, not if. Once we get our podcast big enough to sell merch, it's going to be great.
We've had so many iconic things. I'm going Ricky Bobby for round 2, by the way, just because why not? I mean, let's stop stalling. Whatever. Give me Ricky Bobby. Shake and bake,
I
baby.
Like Ricky, yeah.
Shake and bake with Paul Crew.
All right, well, we're gonna go with another Bobby. Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, it's okay.
I already know where I'm going with this next one.
Dang it, dude.
Dude, I have a list of 10 just because if I had 10, I know I'm going to be able to pick people. And
Dude,
the first 2 picks, neither of them
I'm
were on
so
there.
ridiculously tired that like it's a joke at this point. Like I could pick the Karate Kid. Like this is I mean, I
Who
don't
are
know.
you picking?
Right now I have no idea. Like cuz what's the line? Like what can like could they be like could I pick Michael Jordan in Space Jam?
You could. That's where I was going to go.
Okay, I'm going Michael Jordan then.
Yeah, no, I was going MJ Space Jam. That's why I said semi-realistic. But I will say you need to put some respect on Daniel LaRusso's name. He's actually on my draft board, and I hate the fact that you're trying to poop on him. For that reason, we are doing Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid. He's an icon. I mean, he's literally the reason that like majority of the kids that are in karate are doing karate now. So put some respect on my boy's name. Sorry.
Oh boy.
I know where I'm going here. So
Dude, my team is ridiculous. I took the L right from the first pick. This is like
You
a
did.
wasted like first pick opportunity.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm seriously blanking so bad tonight. It's ridiculous. I dude, it's ridiculous. I don't know what I'm going to pick.
do another
Some semi.
no, I was gonna say you picked Ricky Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
I just give you a hint. We listened to songs from this movie during football practice. You know what you have to do.
Oh my god. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. What's that guy's name?
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon. Yeah, I have his jersey. Yeah. Give me
Is that
The
who you're
fact that
taking?
I have 2 versions of Will Ferrell on here, this is great. Whatever.
That is fantastic.
I have 2
Well,
versions of Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, and Michael Jordan. This is great.
okay, well, if you're having 2 versions of Will Ferrell, I'm having 2 versions of Adam Sandler, and I don't understand how you had the first overall pick, and I still have 2 Adam Sandlers that are better than yours. Happy Gilmore.
Dang it.
And I know where I'm going with this last one. It's completely out of the stratosphere. You're never gonna guess this guy. I think that's what we can call him. It's phenomenal.
Give me
I
Lightning McQueen.
cannot wait. What? Did you just say Lightning McQueen?
Yes.
Okay, well, my guy's even better than Lightning McQueen. So
He's iconic. You can't say he's
my
not.
guy's more iconic than Lightning McQueen.
Who?
Airbud, mother effer.
Airbud?
Give me Airbud.
Dude, I would curb stomp that dog in this draft. What are you talking about?
Airbud is so iconic. Dude, they have like 15 Bud movies because of Airbud. Airbud blows Lightning McQueen out of the water. I do not want to hear it.
No.
What was Cars 2?
Was
Cars 2? What was Cars 2? Stop.
All of the Cars
Airbud's
movies
better.
were great. Anyways, if you made it this
let's
far, we
run
want to
through
say
it.
thank you.
We're
Oh,
running
yeah.
through my team that curb stomps yours.
It's not, though.
It does.
won't.
It does. It does.
I mean, my first pick sucked, but comedy-wise,
We're not doing comedy, my friend.
that's like part of the reason why I watch sports movies. But like, I don't know. It's fine. Go ahead. Give us some rundown.
And I will say, I was really debating about doing Sonny from Draft Day. I almost did that, Sonny from Draft Day. I did Rocky. Don't know how I got him the second overall pick. Bobby Boucher, Daniel LaRusso, Happy Gilmore, and the man, the myth, the legend, Airbud.
Then I had Paul Crew, Ricky Bobby, Michael Jordan from Space Jam, Jackie Moon, and Lightning McQueen. Solid draft. I don't care. If you made it this far, we want to say thank you for listening all the way through. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Pigskin Project. We have a lot scheduled for next week's show. Stay tuned. Oh my god, dude, I am so excited for this. Maybe a former athlete. I don't know. Maybe a current coach. I don't know. Yeah, so just stay tuned. We've got a lot planned. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to following us on all platforms just for that heads up. We'd like to give a big thank you to Overtime Sports Network, as Ben is pointing to over in that corner. Anchor.fm, Uppercuts Grooming, Regional Radio Sports Network for helping us promote our podcast. Please leave a review down below as it helps us more than you know. And that's it for this week. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.